Hey everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more jaw-dropping stories, like this one. The moment I swung the door open, my pulse nearly froze. My living room had vanished. Walls were demolished, furniture nowhere to be seen, and there stood my sister, commanding contractors as if she ruled the place. "Knock that down too," she ordered, gesturing at the kitchen wall I'd scrimped and saved for years to construct. When she caught sight of me, her expression didn't waver. A sly grin spread across her face. "Oh, Paige, you're back early. No worries. I'm upgrading your house to make it actually livable." My hands balled into fists. This wasn't her home. It was mine, my sanctuary. If this already has you reeling, stick around for the unbelievable twist at the end. Hit subscribe and share this video. I could barely catch my breath, staring at the wreckage of everything I'd worked for, torn apart without my consent. My sister, Amber, folded her arms and declared, "You ought to be grateful. You clearly don't know how to live well. I'm transforming this place into something sleek and modern." The contractor snickered, treating me like a stranger in my own space. My voice quivered as I said, "Amber, you had no right. This is my house." She rolled her eyes. "Paige, chill. You'll thank me when it's done." But then I noticed something else. A stack of papers sprawled across the dining table. Blueprints, bank statements, and property deeds with my name scratched out, hers penciled in. My stomach plummeted. What was she scheming? Before I could reach for them, Amber stepped in my way, her grin widening. "Oh, Paige, you really think you can stop me? You've always been the weak link in the family. This house deserves someone who can handle it." I stood rooted to the spot, fury simmering, but she didn't know I'd laid a trap months earlier, one that could unravel her entire plot. Amber's words stung, cutting deeper than the dusty air around us. She wasn't just redecorating, she was erasing my existence. I stared at the blueprint, my name crossed out, and something inside me snapped. Amber leaned in, whispering so the workers wouldn't hear. "You've always been too soft, Paige. That's why Mom and Dad never trusted you with anything important. This house was meant to be mine." Her tone oozed malice, and she laughed as if my life were a cruel punchline. I wanted to yell, to shove every worker out of my home, but her smug grin stopped me. She wanted me to lose it. Instead, I forced a calm smile, one that made her tilt her head in confusion. "You think you're calling the shots, don't you?" I whispered. Her grin wavered briefly, but she snapped back, "Please, Paige. You can barely hold a job. I'm the one with vision. This house will be the family's pride, not your rundown hideaway." The contractors chuckled again, acting as if I were invisible. But while Amber was busy tearing down walls, I'd been quietly building something far greater. Every late-night shift, every business trip, all my extra earnings had gone into something she didn't even suspect. Amber snatched the papers from the table and dangled them in front of me. "See these? I've already talked to the city inspector. Soon, the paperwork will be finalized. You won't own a single inch of this place." She tossed the folder down smugly, certain of her victory. My gut twisted, but I kept my cool. I picked up one sheet, glanced at it, and let out a sharp laugh that made the workers freeze. Amber frowned. "What's so funny?" I stepped closer, voice low. "You really think I'd leave my home vulnerable while I was away? You think I didn't prepare for people like you?" Her face paled for a moment, and that was the reaction I'd been waiting for. Tucked in my bag was the one thing she never imagined, proof that her entire scheme would backfire spectacularly. The instant I pulled it out, her fake confidence began to crumble. Amber's smirk disappeared when I revealed the leather folder from my bag. Her eyes locked onto it like it was a loaded gun. To me it was. I set it on the dining table, brushing aside the dust, and opened it slowly. Inside were notarized documents, legal letters, and a thick envelope bearing the city's seal. Amber's breath caught. "What's that?" she demanded, trying to sound authoritative, but her voice cracked. I leaned back, letting her panic simmer. "This," I said, tapping the envelope, "is proof this house isn't just any property. It's federally protected land. Every change you've made is already illegal." The contractors stopped mid-swing, their laughter silenced. One muttered nervously, "Wait, illegal?" Amber barked at them, "Ignore her. She's bluffing." but her trembling hands betrayed her. She knew I wasn't. I slid another document across the table. See the stamp? That's the preservation order I filed last year. Every nail you've hammered is a violation. And guess who's liable? Not me. You. Amber's face turned crimson. She lunged for the paper, but I pulled it back, locking eyes with her. You mocked me for being quiet, for working too hard, for staying out of the spotlight. But while you were busy tearing others down, I was securing my future. And now, every step you take is walking into my trap. The contractors exchanged uneasy glances, quietly retreating toward the door. One whispered, "We're not getting involved in this." Hammers dropped, boots shuffled out, and Amber stood alone in her crumbling bravado. "Paige, you don't get it," she stammered, her confidence unraveling. "I was just trying to improve things." I cut her off with a cold laugh. "Improve? By erasing my name from the deed? By stealing what's mine? No, Amber. This isn't about helping. It's about power. You've always resented my quiet work, my lack of need to show off every penny. Now you're furious because I've been 5 steps ahead." Her lips quivered. "You can't destroy me like this. The family won't believe you." I leaned closer, whispering, "Oh, they won't just believe me. They'll see it for themselves because I invited them here tonight." Amber's eyes widened in terror. Before she could respond, car doors slammed outside and voices filled the hallway. Loud, cheerful, oblivious. My parents, cousins, even Amber's closest friends poured in, expecting to celebrate her renovation. They had no idea they were about to witness her collapse. Amber plastered on a fake smile, rushing to greet them. Come in, come in. You're just in time to see the transformation." She gestured grandly, ignoring the half-destroyed walls and scattered tools. My mother frowned, scanning the chaos. "Amber, what's going on? This doesn't look finished." Amber laughed nervously. "It's a work in progress, but trust me, it'll be stunning. I'm turning Paige's old dump into something modern, worthy of our family." The word dump stung, but I stayed silent. This was her moment to bury herself. My cousin Mark leaned against the broken doorway, smirking. "So, you're really taking over Paige's place? About time someone did. She's never been good at handling anything." The group chuckled, their laughter bouncing off the ruined walls. Amber nodded proudly. "Exactly. Paige lacks vision, but I know how to create something valuable." I stepped forward, calm and composed, clutching my folder. The room hushed as I spread the official documents on the table for all to see. "Interesting," I said, my voice cutting through their chatter, "because all I see is a pile of illegal construction." The laughter died. My father's brow creased. "Illegal, Paige? What do you mean?" Amber's smile cracked. "She's lying. She's just jealous." I slid the papers toward my relatives, revealing the stamps and signatures. "This house isn't just mine. It's federally protected property. Any unauthorized changes are violations. And guess who approved all this? No one." Gasps rippled through the room. My mother covered her mouth. "Amber, tell me this isn't true." Amber's face went white, but she tried to deflect. "Mom, Dad, listen. Paige doesn't get it. I was doing this for us, for the family's reputation." But Mark shook his head, scanning the documents. "Amber, these look legit. If she's right, you're in deep trouble." Amber turned to me, desperation replacing her arrogance. "Paige, please don't do this. You wouldn't ruin your own sister in front of everyone." I met her gaze, unflinching. "You ruined yourself the moment you tried to steal what's mine." Whispers buzzed, the tension thick. My father spoke, his voice heavy with disappointment. "Amber, you've disgraced this family." I smiled faintly. "But this is just the start. You all laughed at me, called me weak. Tonight you'll see who I really am, and you'll never underestimate me again." The crowd exchanged stunned looks. Amber trembled, tears spilling, thinking her humiliation was over. But the real twist, the one that would shatter her, was still coming. The silence was heavy, every eye on me, waiting for my next move. Amber's crocodile tears flowed, but I knew it was a performance. She wanted sympathy, wanted the family to turn on me like always. But I wasn't the timid Paige they knew. I'd been preparing for years. I reached into my bag again, pulling out a second, thicker folder. I set it on the table, flipping it open for all to see. Inside were glossy photos of a thriving tech office, modern buildings with my company's name, and bank statements that left jaws on the floor. This, I said firmly, is what I've been building while you mocked me. Late nights, long trips, endless hours. I didn't chase approval. I built a company that employs over 200 people, just awarded a $12 million city contract. Gasps filled the room. My father's jaw dropped. My mother clutched her chest. My cousins leaned in, wide-eyed, unable to believe Quiet Paige had built a secret empire. Amber shook her head frantically, pale as a ghost. No, this can't be real. You're lying. I cut her off with a sharp, cold laugh. Lying? Ask Mark. He interviewed at my company last month. All eyes turned to Mark, who froze, his face reddening. I didn't know it was your company, he stammered. Whispers erupted. Amber's knees gave way, and she gripped a chair. This isn't fair. It should have been me. I deserve this, she screamed, her facade crumbling. I stepped closer, voice steady but commanding. You don't deserve what you tried to steal. You ridiculed my quiet work, my time in the shadows. But that silence gave me strength. Now, in front of everyone you tried to impress, you're exposed, not as the strong sister, but as a desperate thief who's lost it all. The room fell silent. Even my parents, who always favored her, couldn't defend her. My father shook his head. Amber, I can't even look at you. Paige, we misjudged you. For the first time in years, I didn't feel small or invisible. I felt unstoppable. Amber slumped into the chair, sobbing, muttering, "It should have been mine." But no one comforted her. Not this time, I said, gathering my folders and standing tall. As I walked toward the door, I turned back to the stunned faces. Never mistake quiet for weakness. Some of us build empires while others waste time tearing people down. My words lingered as I stepped out, leaving Amber broken, the family speechless, and my pride restored. That night, I wasn't the underdog. I was the victor,